Good day, grade 11 learners. Welcome to DepEd NPTV. Let us continue learning while staying at home. I am Teacher Angeline, serving as your guide in exploring the world of English. Our topic for today is nature, functions, and process of communication. First quarter, week 1. So at the end of our lesson, you are expected to 1. Identify the sender, message, receiver, and feedback in the chats. 2. Explain functions, nature, and process of oral communication. First, let us understand what communication is. So communication comes from the Latin word communicare, which means to share or to have something in common. It provides central meaning to human experience. According to Kate Davis, communication is a process of passing information and understanding from one person to another. And John Adair also defined communication as essentially the ability of one person to make contact with another and make himself understood. All in all, communication is the transmission of ideas, emotions between or among persons with the use of verbal and non-verbal cues. It occurs everywhere. It takes place at home, in school, in modes of transport, in street, in stores, in concert halls, in malls, or in churches. With the latest telecommunication advances, communication between two distant people in remote areas is possible. In fact, we use our mouth in speaking more than we do eating. While we eat 3 times, that is breakfast, lunch, and supper, or more every day, we spend most of our waking hours talking. This happens because there is a requiring attention or action on our part to let other people know what we have in mind or what our heart says. Simply put, being social beings, we cannot keep to ourselves our thoughts and our feelings. Take the courage in doing the activities to guide you as you journey Module 1. Let us proceed to the nature of oral communication. So first, oral communication is a process that involves a message sender, a receiver, and a channel. Second, oral communication is symbolic, which could be enhanced through the use of non-verbal cues involving facial expressions, gestures, body language, volume, tone, and pitch of the speaker's voice. Third, oral communication is a verbal communication that uses words to share information with others. Fourth, oral communication employs readily understood spoken words. It mainly uses words to express oneself. Fifth, oral communication could be one-way or maybe two-way process. Sixth, oral communication involves the flow of information from the sender to the receiver. 7. Oral communication ensures appropriate enunciation, stress, and tone of voice for common understanding to take place. And lastly, verbal communication communication includes sounds, words, language, and speech. So these are the nature of oral communication. There are also importance of oral communication. First, oral communication is important because the goal of learning a language is to communicate in order to be understood. Without understanding, there is no communication. Second, oral communication skills are fundamental to the development of literacy. Literacy is the ability to read and write. Third, oral communication is essential for thinking and learning. Fourth, oral communication is the glue that puts all the components of a language together. Fifth, oral communication plays an important role in the development of the country. Sixth, oral communication reduces the distance and makes the flow of information faster. And number 7, oral communication enables one to be a voice or instrument of truth and a light of the world. At this juncture, we will be learning about the 5 functions of communication. So first, control. So under control, communication functions to control or regulate behavior. Second, social interaction. So for this function, communication allows individuals to relate with others. Third, motivation. It functions to motivate or encourages people to live better. Fourth, emotional expression. So communication facilitates people's expression of their feelings and emotions. And number 5, information dissemination. Communication functions to convey information. To sum it up, communication refers to the transmission or passage of information or message from the sender through a selected channel to the receiver, overcoming barriers that affect its space. The process of communication is a cyclic one as it begins with the sender and ends with the sender in the form of feedback. Communication is a process, and as such, it comes in stages. It starts with encoding and ends with decoding. The encoder is more popularly known as the sender of the message. He transmits his message to the receiver, a more popular term for the decoder of the message. The recipient tries to understand the message, and if she does, communication takes place. The receiver may then give his feedback if there is a continuous exchange between the sender and the receiver, particularly in an oral discourse. Communication takes the form of cycle as shown in the diagram. At this point, you are towards the end of this lesson. So be reminded of the following directions or instructions. Here is an activity provided to help you understand and master the lesson. Activity 1. Under 4 basic components of the communication process, you are to complete the table by writing the 4 basic components of the communication process in each situation. Kindly refer to the given example in your learning activity sheet. Congratulations for completing the task. This time, briefly explain the nature, functions, and process of oral communication. Provide example if necessary. Enjoy working. Good job for completing the task. It is a time for reflection. So please do complete the following statements. After doing the activities, this is the end of our lesson. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our DepEd NPTV. Once again, I am Teacher Angeline Awingan, your guide in this lesson. Goodbye!